Hey you guys, on today's episode we're going to be making 6 different batches of keto chocolate chip cookies, and I'm also going to include a bonus 7th one. I know the struggle of what it's like to spend a lot of money on erythritol, trying out a recipe I found online, having it failed where I end up having to throw the whole thing away or eat it angrily. So have no fear because I am here to burn things for you. So if you want to find out which one I burnt and which one I nailed, then keep on watching. The keto chocolate chip cookie recipes we're going to be using in this video belong to Clean Eating with a Dirty Mind, Keto Connect, Fat for Weight Loss, Nom Nom, Peace, Love, and Low Carb, and Keto and Pearls. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the things that stood out and the things that I learned from making each of the recipes. And I'll also share how they taste at the end of the video. Also, I want to say thank you to Lily for providing the chocolate chips we're going to be using in this video. They're the best chocolate chips to eat on the keto diet because they're sweetened with stevia. So 60 chips only have 5 net carbs. So the thing that stood out to me in this recipe was that it had me sift the almond flour. It used baking chips and baking bars, which I didn't really understand the reason for the baking bars until I got to Nom Nom's recipe. And I learned the importance of oven rack positioning. I learned that it makes a big difference whether you leave it on the top or the bottom and how long it stays in there. I ended up with a big poofy one and a regular one, and yeah, that was a very interesting realization. The thing that stood out to me in this recipe was that they claimed to be chewy chocolate chip cookies, and I made their recipe before and it didn't come out chewy, so I was hoping that I could kind of redeem it this second time around, and it actually came out worse. I ended up burning them, and it could have been that I didn't use a baking rack for each tray that I had, or that I didn't periodically check on them, or that I baked them on the lowest rack. It could have been all of that, but they still didn't come out chewy. So the thing that stood out to me in this recipe was that it specifically recommends using grass-fed butter because it helps your body burn fat more properly and cleanly. So the second thing that stood out to me is that the recipe asked for almond meal as one of the ingredients, or so I thought. I actually went back on his page to see where I went wrong because yes, I went wrong. And once I clicked on the affiliate link, I saw that it actually linked back to almond flour, not almond meal. So I guess in Australia they're synonymous, but your girl used almond meal. So that explains a lot why it did not look anything close to what he had in the picture. Which is okay because I already knew that the cookie wasn't going to come out like it's supposed to, because he does specify that the reason his cookies come out exactly like his is because of the type of sugar he uses, and he uses 100% natural erythritol. And Swerve, which is what I'm using, likes to cut their sugar with other ingredients. So the thing that stood out to me in this recipe was that it uses arrowroot powder, which according to Nom Nom, it gives the cookie that extra tenderness and best overall bite. I also learned that the golden rule is to cream butter until it's light and fluffy, which means 10 minutes, but I did like 7. I also learned that chocolate chips weren't designed to melt completely. That's why adding the chocolate bars will help you get that gooey chocolate chip cookie. So the thing that stood out to me in this recipe was that it describes itself as a flourless chocolate chip cookie, which I could not understand how that was even possible, but apparently it is. And I learned that the trick to getting them nice and gooey was to take it out at the 10-minute mark. So the only thing that stood out to me in this recipe was the amount of chocolate chips you had to use. It required 1 whole bag of Lily's chocolate. That was like half my stash. So the last and final bonus recipe isn't actually a recipe, it's actually a prepackaged mix by Keto Candy Girl. And the thing that stood out to me was the amount of chocolate chips they gave you in the mix. They did not skimp out. So stay tuned for my husband's review. He freaking loves cookies and he's gonna spill the tea on how my cookies tasted. Leave a comment below with suggestions on what recipes you'd like to see me make in the next video. So this one, the one that we're gonna try, this one's Keto Connects.
Okay, is that the burnt one?
Yes, I burnt it.
Got it.
Point is they said it was chewy and I kind of burnt it, but try it out. Tell me what you think. This was the first chocolate chip cookie I did.
Definitely not chewy.
I know. I burned it though, so.
It is crumbly. I like my cookies a little bit more overdone or well done.
Crispy?
Yeah, I like them crispy, so I don't mind the little charriness.
So are you a chewy or a crispier person?
I just like cookies. I definitely prefer, I guess, a crumblier cookie.
Yeah. I've made these before and I never thought that they were actually chewy though. So
Yeah.
these were the first chocolate chip cookies I've ever made.
It's really good though. I like the flavor. The taste is good. It's definitely chocolate chip tastes like.
With this recipe, what stood out was that I had to buy these flaky sea salts.
Yeah, and I did notice the salt on it.
It was so cool. And then also on top of it, this one asked for arrowroot powder, which I've never used before, but I really, really liked how this one came out because it reminded me like of a McDonald's chocolate chip cookie.
It looks like out of all of them, it looks like the most like a gourmet like cookie. And I know when you add salt to the top of your cookies, it tends to bring out a lot of your flavors. Pro tip.
I didn't know that. Hashtag no sabia. But this is really good. I really like this cookie.
Yeah, the salt definitely brings out the chocolate in it. There's like nuts in this one too, huh? Oh.
Pecan.
Yeah, it was really good.
This one and I don't know where. They came out really brittle, but I already knew that they weren't going to come out like they were supposed to because I didn't use the same sugar he did. Okay. So, I mean, despite the very brittleness, what do you think about the overall taste?
This is my favorite tasting one.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why?
My favorite tasting one.
Why?
I don't know. To me, this just tastes like a homemade cookie that your mom would make. Like when you, just want cookies. This tastes like a legit homemade cookie.
Dang.
This is my favorite one so far.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Míralo. Oh, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, it's so good.
I actually learned a lot from this recipe. I made 2 different batches from this recipe, and one I cooked for 12 minutes and the other one I cooked for 10, and it made a significant difference in how it came out.
That's this one right here.
I almost wasn't going to make this one, but I'm so glad I did because I really liked it.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's definitely a lighter cookie. It feels like it's a little bit more airy.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I feel like this probably would work really well, like with milk or something. Just have it on the side. Very, very like fluffy, kind of a chocolate chip.
I liked it too. I liked how it came out, and it was pretty good looking.
I'm still really a fan of that ugly one.
I hate you. A low carb brownie meets the perfect keto cookie.
Okay.
So that's what they describe this one as. And also, I did forget to add the water that it needed for the recipe, so I don't know if that changes it completely compared to how it should have been.
I see.
I like it.
Yeah, it was good. It definitely tastes like a brownie.
I feel the brownie
Yeah.
texture.
Mm.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know about it being a chocolate chip cookie, but yeah, definitely like a brownie cookie. So I really like how this one looks. It's super deceiving. It looks like a regular like chocolate chip cookie. Doesn't I don't know. There's the taste on the back end. It's throwing me off a little bit. Can't tell what it is. Is there coconut in this?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, there isn't. It's
No.
almond flour. This one did require the whole bag of Lily's chocolate. Okay, and so this last one is a bonus one because it's actually a prepackaged mix that I got sent, and I wanted to make it with all these other cookies. Because if I could see whether I could just buy this instead of having to make my own cookies, I want to see how this came out.
No.
But I heard good things about it.
Okay. Damn. It's really good.
I like how flaky it is.
Yeah, and I'm more of a crispy cookie person.
Yeah,
So like it's not super brittle, but you get a little bit of a crunch. It's kind of flaky. This is a really good cookie.
I like it.
Did the chocolates come with it already, or
It
so you
did.
don't even have to buy separate chocolates? That's pretty cool. Well, even this one, if you wanted to take it up a notch, I feel like if you added a little bit of that salt, like that
I even
gourmet
tried it with
one,
the salt right now, so I was like, it
Yeah.
tasted really good. Okay, so from all the cookies, which cookie did you like?
Damn, that was a hard one.
Is it the ugly one? Is it the salty one? Is it the...
Oh, let me try this one again. Because right now, for sure, it's between the last one we tried, the prepackaged one, and man, they're both so really good.
Like, out of all the homemade cookies, which one did you like the most?
Homemade cookies.
Just based on how, like, it
Yeah,
tasted.
homemade cookies for me was that top one, ugly.
Oh, okay, so fat for weight loss. The brittle
Yeah.
one, the one I said that was...
Yeah, the one you thought you messed up, but it was actually really good.
Okay, well...
So taste-wise, that one tasted the best. Aesthetics and like kind of a little bit more complex flavors. Kind of like, hey, I'm gonna have this as a little side dessert. The one with the nuts in it.
Oh, nom nom yums.
And the salt on it. It's got a really unique like flavor profile. It's not really heavy on the chocolate. It's very balanced. But the salt does bring out some of those extra like flavors. So that's a really nice one to kind of have. I just like the other one a little bit better because, like I said, it's like a childhood type cookie that it's a straight up chocolate chip cookie. You can have a bowl of them and not hate yourself.
Talking about the ugly one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you thought it's Keto Candy Girls. What did you think of hers?
Which one's that one?
The prepackaged one.
That's a prepackaged one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was super good. Yeah, don't sleep on that one. That one's so good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like that one for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah, all the recipes are really good. Try them out.
And let me know what you think.
Yeah.